Hello everyone, it's Lindsay, and today I'm back with another setup in my growth journal. This is something I've been doing the last few months, and is a great way for me to just have a central location to answer all of the reflection questions from the kits each month. And so I will be doing the same thing at the start of this month. I'm using, like I said, a growth book is what it's technically called. I'll link it down below, but you could do this in any type of notebook or journal, something like that. I am going to be setting it up for this month's kit, Sufficient Grace. I've already gone ahead and cut out the reflection questions. Now, typically I cut out each individual question, but I'm actually going to use this whole piece as a card today. Now, this month's kit is a little bit more personal for me, so I wanted to give myself some kind of more journaling areas, more hidden journaling areas. So I'm using the journaling cards from the printable kit. And I'm gonna use these to kind of create some spots to journal in. And we're gonna be keeping it very, very simple for this layout. Because again, I wanna just focus on the journaling and the reflection questions. We'll be doing a little bit of stamping and using some stickers from the kit, but I'm gonna be doing my setup a little bit differently than I typically do. So I'm excited to share that with you. So let me go ahead, put you guys on fast forward, and we'll quickly put together this page for my reflection questions for the Sufficient Grace devotional kit this month. All right, so in addition to the journaling cards, I've also punched out some of those circle pieces from the printables, and I'm gonna create little flip up elements on this page. So I'm just kind of staging everything to have like a balance of color. The nice thing about this particular journal is that there is a grid, like a dot grid in the background, so it makes it easy to line things up. And kind of my point with the projects that I'm doing in this book is to be super quick and simple. So rather than like gluing or sewing, I'm just pulling out my stapler and stapling these tabs. All in all, this took about 15 minutes to put together this page, and that's about what I want to spend on this. So I know it might seem like a very simple video, but I just want to kind of show you that it can be simple. I am going to add a little bit of stamping, so I do like to put the title of the kit on the page. That way when I come back to this, I'll know what kit it went with. Even though I'm using the graphics and things like that, I do want the name on there as well. So there are stamps in the kit that spell out Sufficient Grace, so I'm stamping those using some pomegranate ink. I did just look, it looks like this particular color is sold out over at Creative Retreat. I'm also going to use cotton candy here in a second, and that is not sold out. So you could substitute that. It's a little bit lighter of a pink. I'm going to use that cotton candy to stamp this cross texture. I don't have a whole lot of space on here. There's already a lot going on with those really pretty cards. So I'm just going to use this to add a little bit of interest to the page. Again, while this is meant to be space for the reflection questions, I do like it to be visually pleasing in this book. So I'm just adding a little bit of this here and there. And the nice thing about these inks is that they are pigment inks, so they don't bleed through. This particular book does have thicker pages in it, but it's not, thick enough for lots of paint and dye-based inks and things like that. So now I'm going to create some hinges using the washi tape. I love the washi tape this month. And so I'm just putting a little bit of that at the top of the card. And one trick I have for tip-ins, tip-outs, flip-ups, whatever you want to call them, is to add washi to the front and the back of the hinge. That is what kind of reinforces it and makes sure that it's going to stay adhered to your Bible, your book, whatever you're putting it in. So I'm going to add them all to the front because I noticed it's a repeating pattern on the washi. And so I was trying to kind of break up that pattern just a little bit so it wasn't like all the same image on the top of each card. So I'm just sticking a little tiny bit of that. There is just enough room to get 4 cards and the washi on here without too much overlap. But you can see I'm going in and just adding a little bit smaller of a piece to the back. And that is what's really going to secure that hinge so that things don't fall out, over time as I'm using that tip-up aspect. So typically I put the reflection question and then leave myself room to write next to the question, but this time I'm just going to use the numbers to kind of indicate the question. So I have all those questions in the top left-hand corner, and then I'm just adding number stickers so that I know what coordinates with which question, and then I have plenty of space to journal things out. So a lot, some of these get hidden, but I know that they flip up. I know how it's going to work in the end, that these go with those different questions. That reflection card is a tip up as well. So I do have some additional space there if I need it. And at this point, I felt like it needed to be filled in just a little bit more with the stamping, but that is going to be it. All in all, it took about 15 minutes. Super quick and easy. Gives me plenty of space to journal out my thoughts as I work through this kit. So everything will be linked down below. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those down below for me. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.